All right, everybody. I'm hanging out with my friend Steve Basic, architect.
Hey.
Stephen Basic, architect. We're somewhere in New England.
We're somewhere in New England. I'm calling this the New Age Estate Project. We tore a house down. We're building this house. The homeowners have lived here for, I don't know, probably about 20 years. We tore that house down, but the house was a spec house built in like 1965. So a lot of people, I put up a video of it getting torn down. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's such a beautiful house, you're tearing it down. The homeowners were exceptional at maintenance. The house was junk.
Ah, interesting.
It's the bones of it and everything. It was time, a 65 spec house.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about it. And I get the privilege to work with my good friends at Howell Custom Building Group, they're exceptional. And Brian, who's heading up the team here on site, is one of my favorite people to work with.
What stage is the project right now?
We are putting in foundations. You want to go over and take a look?
Let's go take a look.
All right.
You want to just keep it rolling? And then we can always reposition when we get there?
Yeah.
Continuous take.
This video is sponsored by Huber Engineered Woods, the makers of Advantech and Zip System rain screen, and all the accoutrements, and is part of the On the Road with Hugh series. There's a whole bunch of videos that we shot on our way up to film for the International Builder Show. And by the way, today is December 26th. We are about 2 months out from the International Builder Show. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, very Spielberg. I think there's a scene in Saving Private Ryan that's like 5 minutes long, single take.
Or just keep rolling. Well, that's like, what was the movie? Casino. Is it Casino? No, Goodfellas, where he's going down through the kitchen with the woman and stuff. That was all one take. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I have no way to get my 160-pound frame into the hole. So I think we're going to do everything, and we're going to talk from up here.
See, I'm 185 pounds.
Well,
but that's just the
you're like compact, and I'm like tall and lean.
Well, the 185 pounds is just twisted steel and sex appeal. My total body weight is a little more, but the sex appeal weighs 185 pounds.
Steal that one.
All right, what are we looking at?
Steal the sex appeal. Well, we're looking at a foundation system. Obviously, all the formwork is being placed. We're going to cast the foundation walls here this week, probably in about a day or so. But the interesting thing about this is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different foundation wall systems. So you look at it and say, okay, they're just putting in the foundation, but there's some intricacies to, say, this corner versus the center section versus the section to our right and then the far section. So first of all, the one take that I think that we should talk about is, I've been up to your place, I've seen you, and I've shot foundation videos with your brother also, but what do you think about how we do things?
So it's the same panels. I'm looking at probably like an MDO or HDO.
Yep.
But we don't have, we're snap ties and wedges.
Yep.
And our panels, usually for us, because we're just not that strong anymore, we're 2x8s. We can get 4x8s. But I see on the East Coast a lot of the strapping, which I know it just locks together very quickly.
Right.
I think this guy's probably upside down, but.
Yep. Yeah, that top is down there. But if this was the bottom, this would just, you'd put in that piece and this would come down, snap, and interlock.
Just locks them
and so all you have to do is just snap them off, hit them with a hammer, load them back into the cradles.
What I really like is the cradles. We're hand packing out. If we're fortunate, we get the forklift on site and we can boom down, throw them in.
Yeah.
But I saw the boom truck earlier. So they just load up the cradles, yard them out of here.
Yeah, and I mean, doing it by hand on this, that's like I would dread coming to work that day. I'd be calling in sick. But for those of you that aren't aware, a lot of this has some pretty heavy reinforcement, especially that corner there. So our guys, and I don't know if your surveyor does it there, but we can show the viewers, our surveyor comes and he pins the foundation wall on top of the footing.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of orange dots.
So footing's poured, he locates the corners?
He locates the corners of the footing. And then after the footings are done, he comes back and he puts a nail in the concrete, which is all of the outside corners of the foundation wall. So the cradles are, I would say, almost necessary because our guys, they put up the outside wall first, put the steel cage in, and then put up the inside panels.
So I was taught, I have no idea why, we tie all the steel, and so we try to lay out the steel, make sure it misses the snap ties. And then we form both sides as we go. You usually have 2 guys inside, 2 guys outside, and we just perimeter. And again, no idea why, that was just the way I was taught.
Yeah, and I think this one is because the surveyor, he lines that up so you can get the outside wall, get those panels somewhat square, and they'll put a couple intermittent panels in to kind of hold the wall together. But then the last panels are the ones that, close off the inside.
No cleats at the bottom. So it's just the bottom. Let me flip it over so it's correct. So that flips that way.
Yep.
And no cleats at the bottom because that's so close
just
to the
that
bottom.
last bottom
Okay.
is like 6 inches off the bottom.
And they just knock it to the line.
And then they knock it to the line.
Interesting.
And then after the wall is done, believe it or not, our surveyor has to come back yet again. And he has to document and seal that the corners of the foundation are in fact where they were on the site plan.
We did a house back in we lived there, 95. And Dave that taught me, he just kept saying to my dad, this corner is too close to the property line. Dad's like, it's fine. Sure enough. And so then it became a lawsuit because the neighbor didn't like us.
Right. Yeah, so we have to come back and document it. This one here, there's some conservation land in that back corner that we're far enough away, but a lot of projects that we do now, I would call them challenge sites, right? Like the day of going in and finding a 10-acre cow pasture in Metro Boston, those days are gone, never coming back. So we're finding sites that are by conservation land. And I mean, we did the Riverside project. It took us 26 months to go through the building department to get permission to apply for a building permit because there were so many hoops to jump
Interesting.
through. So that's the world we live in.
Is there anything special reinforcement wise between the different wall heights?
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, the 5. So over in this corner here, that's an 11-foot tall foundation wall. So because of its height, the structural engineer, we actually have vertical bars on 24-inch centers in there to help with that extended height. This middle section is our standard 9-foot foundation wall, and all of our foundation walls are 10 inches. Are yours?
Usually 8 once 6 inches if it's single story, 8 inches if it's 2-story.
Yeah, we do 10 inches, whether it's 2 foot tall or 12 foot tall. It's pretty interesting. Sometimes they do go to 16 or 12 or 16 inches, but these are all 10s. And our 9-foot wall, that's our pretty much standard foundation wall. That one there, we'll have a mid-height number 4, and then we'll have 2 number 4s at the top.
We're like 12-inch on center verticals, 12-inch on center horizontals.
Yeah, but that's how you get away with doing a 6-inch wall too. So
interesting.
We use a little thicker wall. So we have kind of the typical wall plus with some extra reinforcing. And then you can see over this right-hand third, that is all crawl space. So those are only 4-foot walls. Those have a number 4 bar in the middle, the 2 at the top, but there's not a whole lot there. And all 3 of these walls are what I would call braced wall systems, right? They're all gonna have a floor diaphragm above.
Okay.
So it keeps the walls from moving.
So they're gonna frame before backfill?
You're supposed to, or you can make the argument that you're bracing the wall. So
yeah.
A lot of times they'll kind of backfill halfway or something.
Yeah.
And push it. But the tricky one is there's a little wall in the middle here that connects. That's kind of the end dam to the crawl space, where the crawl space transitions to the full height. Now, that one doesn't have any bracing at the top. So that's wall type number 4, and because it doesn't have that brace top frame, we have to turn that one into a retaining wall. Right? And I'm sure you're aware, but retaining walls, I can do an extended footing on the bottom that keeps it from overturning. In this one, we're going to do the inverse. We're going to use the slab to pull the wall back into the crawl space. So our retaining wall, the way we prevent the overturning is actually in tension by using the slab to pull that top of the wall back.
So is that going to get filled with dirt to support the slab?
Yes.
Okay.
That'll all get backfilled, and of course here we basically just do the 12 inches of stone. We have our perforated pipe over there. We have 2 different locations for sump pumps, and those simply go to dry wells that'll get dug out here at like 12 or 14 foot deep. Howell Custom Builders is, they're an exceptional breed of builders, in a sense that before we even tore the old house down, they brought the excavator out. We dug a hole 14 foot deep because they want to know, do we have rock over there? Is there water at 10 feet? Because when you're going 12 feet into the ground, you have no idea what's down there. So they like to do their due diligence and make sure, and that's why homeowners, they're so desirable, because they do a great job. And then on the far side is where the garage will be. And the garage basically, it's a foundation wall that has dirt on both sides.
Okay.
So it's basically laterally braced by ground.
So it's just really
sides.
gravity loads that we need.
It's just the gravity load that we have to deal there. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty typical foundation. We insulate all of our walls on the inside. We'll insulate underneath the slab with 4 inches of insulation. We'll bring 2 over the top of the footing. And then we'll have a perimeter drain. We'll have a radon system. I don't know, do you guys have to put radon?
We are only because we're doing the sealed crawl on this house.
Sealed crawl.
Yeah, we've always been vented crawls.
Okay.
My good friend Ben Bogey loves vented crawl spaces.
He does. I don't know why. He's a big
Yeah, I mean,
proponent
Pacific
of,
Northwest, vented crawl. But now we're starting with the energy code. This house that we're currently doing, the one you came out to,
Yeah.
we're going to see if sealed crawl, rock wool on the sides, and see what the cost is in performance.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, next time we do it, I'm convinced that on a little 2-foot crawler, I can install all the insulation in an hour.
Yeah. Wow. That's
I'm
good.
fast, Steve.
I know.
I don't look like
I
it.
see your videos, man. You're like,
I could jump high and I'm fast.
it's that man of steel
Yeah.
and sex appeal.
Yeah, it's yeah. 185 pounds of sex appeal.
There you go. But yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty standard foundation, but it's all the little things that kind of come after radon vents and insulation and all of that stuff that.
I have one question, and later we'll get the answer. How many yards of concrete is going to go on the walls? Just eyeballing it.
Ooh.
I have no idea. I'm going to throw out a guess after you do.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, because I'm used to 8-inch walls, and just comparing it to the last couple we did. Lineal footage wise, and then we'll get the final total, we'll put it in the video.
Yeah, you really put me on the spot because I know I'm going to guess and I'm going to be way
I'm going to be way off. I'm going to say 65.
Yeah, I was going to say more like 80 or 90.
Yeah.
Because the typical truck is 10, right?
Yeah,
I think they're 10 yards.
I'm going to read Price is Right rules. Can't go over.
Okay.
83 yards.
83
yards.
Can't go over. I could just be a jerk and say 95. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say 85 because I think I got it dialed in.
What was mine?
83.
83, okay.
So we have a 2-yard delta.
Yeah, I want to know. I don't speak Greek.
So I can go all the way up to 85. Well, you can go all the way up to 83, but
83,
so,
okay. You heard it here,
83,
it's 83.
85. So we'll see. I'll ask Brian how many yards of concrete they're pouring here. But
nice. Any other projects we can go visit?
yeah, we actually have one. And then, hey, if you're up for it, I say we should do a road trip this week. Why don't we just head up to Canada and like go out by the water and we'll see if we can find somebody
I got
out
2
there to
pairs of
start
underwear.
projects.
If I put them inside out, that's 4 days.
That's 4 days. And if we find a river, you can double them and get 8 days.
Yeah.
So I think we're all set.
Let's do it.
Road trip.
Oh yeah, he wants us to walk off. He wants us to walk off.
Oh. Sorry, Spielberg.
I'm saying 85. That was my gut.
Yeah.
When you asked, I was saying this is 85.
Yeah, is a truck 10? Is a truck 10 or
7 to
8?
10 depending
Yeah,
on the truck.
we're usually getting 10 unless there's big hills they don't want to climb.
I mean, the footings were
Official guess is 1.
Yeah.
the footings were
You're that
3,
guy.
like a little over 3 trucks.
You're like, 1 yard, Alex. It's like, no, it's Bob.
I want to say
Now it's
the
Drew.
footings were like, yeah, a little over. I think it was 3 trucks. Yeah,
Yeah, this looks like a close to a 40-yard footing pour.
yeah.
Yeah, because we're usually pouring 8-inch walls, and even if that last one was 10 feet tall, I can't even remember what we poured. But because it daylights out, you lose.
Yeah.
It's not as much as you'd think. Like the front of this might be full height and the back not.
Did you get photos from the hill?
I do not. I can't.
All right, I can go up there, unless you want to. You want to go up there? Yeah, put them on yours, and then you can send them to
I'll
me.
pack the drone away while Mark's.
When you guys use that slab to prevent overturning
Yeah.
that wall, does it have to get tied to anything, or you just
We
line
have
on the
reinforcing.
balance right at
We have reinforcing that
the-
comes
tying
up
to the
out of
slab,
that
but the
wall,
slab
and it
doesn't
goes
tie
back
in.
6
The
feet.
slab doesn't tie
No,
anything.
it's the dead weight of the slab. Yeah, that wall's it's only 4 foot tall, so
It's not a whole
it's not a whole.
Hey, happy Sunday afternoon, everybody. So, we are not sponsored by DJI, but there are 4 or 5 DJI's little pocket Osmos out here. So, just got done shooting with Steve, flew the drone around, got some B-roll, and stay tuned. We'll do this on YouTube. We're gonna go film at least 1 or 2 of his other job sites in various stages, and then tomorrow starts the road trip to Canada via Maine and Bangor, Maine. So, Hey, I'm going to put everything in the story highlights, so make sure you follow along because this is going to be pretty fun. And we're going to swing by Ben Morton's job.
Left, right, 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 left, right.
We are walking on a slabless slab.
It was supposed to be an Annie Lennox reference. We're walking on broken glass.
Oh, wow. That's really where there's a lot of magic happening.
Okay.
My heart's pounding like I'm watching Oprah's farewell season.
No, it's super easy to get into Canada. Like, our border crossing guards just got guns like last year or something like that. It'll be fine.
Hey, tell Aaron we're on our way as soon as we get some gas.
Yeah, we got the sweet convertible rental. He was a little needy if you...
Is that him?
That's him right now. I'm just
Should probably call Tim again.
going to go to voicemail.
We don't need to rush
break,
up
man.
there. I mean, people had Thelma and Louise for years. Now they got Tim and Steve. We don't need to go anywhere. I think I get this thing running.
Nice. Yeah, try it.
This is, just give me a minute here to...
Hold on a sec, Aaron's calling. Yeah, no, we're just taking the scenic route.
Got any gas?
Steve, needs a lot of bathroom breaks.
You'll come to the border crossing. It's like literally a post with a flag.
I don't think this is right, Tim.
And all Canadian islands look the same in the dark. Yeah.
So this, I don't know. I didn't see a sign anywhere that said "Welcome Tim and Steve." Nothing.
there would have been a well. There
There would have been like the band or high school band or something.
There
here.
should have been banners for it.
So, I don't
It's the
know.
wrong one.
I think it's the wrong one. I say we get back in the boat.
Yeah.
No, follow my directions. Take the dirt road.
Tim, hurry up, man! Get on before they figure out we got this thing. Oh no!
We're out of gas?
I think we're out of gas, man.
Let's just leave it.
We'll just leave it.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go. We'll just walk
Okay.
the rest of the way. What? They'll find it.
Yeah, just leave it.
We don't have to worry about
Just leave it. It's Canada.
Just,
They're too nice to say anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we got that far to go. Maybe 20, 30 miles or something like that.
We're going to get there, Steve. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Tim, I think we got to be close, man. This is,
Better be. I'm kind of losing steam.
I mean, this is looking like some of the pictures that Aaron sent. So, I don't know.
There's a road. There's a road.
It definitely looks like a
We're close.
construction road.
Steve, to your right.
There's the house, man.
Yes.
Yes, we made it.
Made it.
2,600 miles we went.
I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
Hey, there's Aaron.
Aaron,
made it.
we made it.
Guys, finally made it.
We made it, man.
Do that.
We just... I've
Three-way
never,
hug.
never been so happy
I'm
to
gonna
see a
be-
Canadian in my entire life.
I am gobsmacked.
Your gob has been smacked.
I think I lost like 60 pounds.
We haven't eaten in minutes.
I have to make a phone call. There's a four-wheeler in the road somewhere. down.
Where did you get the
It's I think it was a neighbor,
Yeah.
a friend way down the
Super
road
nice
that let us
Canadian
borrow.
guy.
Yeah.
But there was somebody in uniform here earlier looking for somebody.
That wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
That
That wasn't us.
Definitely not us.
That wasn't us. So,
Let's go get you a steak and we'll get you some lobster.
all right. Well, let's go.
All right.
Steak and lobster.
Okay. So I can tell. Did yours buzz? They both show audio at the top?
Yes.
Okay. You know how many times I have no audio?
Listen, I've gotten home before. He's shot some videos and other people. It's like there is nothing more frustrating. Or even when I'm at home, one day I shot 5 videos on the Vibe board and I was in a hurry. I went downstairs, no freaking audio.
No
It's
audio,
like,
yeah.
The cable wasn't plugged into the side of the phone enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. I'm not going to try and link every clip because I'm just going to put all these in.
Yeah.
It's like,
But
all
you-
right.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm hanging out with my friend Square. I should show you the plans later.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Half the stuff's not detailed, and you're like, why would I have to scale? There's 3 walls in this house. Just give me a dimension. So,
Maybe 2 dimensions.
yeah, and don't pull from opposite sides. You know, just keep clicking. I did enough AutoCAD in my senior year of high school. Anyway, it's now it's to the point. Brian's like, just don't tell me if you're changing things. Then I don't have to think about it. And I'm like,
plausible deniability.
Yeah, because it's the stuff our engineers, like, if I text it in pictures, he's like, don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But this guy, like, it's all 3-inch nailing. It's
On everything in the field too.
It's 4-inch. No, the field, he didn't actually specify. I think it was actually still 12.
Yeah.
So the side walls, but then the big straps. So the building inspector comes out. He was our old insulator. He's been working for the city he's just like, he just shook his head. And so, like, by the time the homeowner hired a guy to shepherd this thing through the building department, find the architect finds the engineer. So he's getting his fee, the architect's getting his. Then we come in after site work, and I'm like, I bet you there's at least $100,000 here that did not need to go into this project.
Mm-hmm.
Just because everybody, it's like markup.
Yeah.
And then we have to come in and, I tell them 14 feet of access. I tell the dirt guy, we do a site visit. We show up, there's 9'5". And I'm
I
like,
remember seeing that. I'm like, oh, you got it. You got fucking 2 inches on
yeah,
that.
which is fine for the machine,
Yeah.
but it keeps sloughing off onto the septic tank. And so when I talked to the homeowner, he's like, yeah, I just didn't want to pay for the septic tank to be moved. And I was like, here's the thing, Taylor. You can't afford to pay us to pack lumber by hand up 150 feet of driveway.
Mm-hmm.
So either it's moving, and so we were able to make it work, but now it's at a point. So he was all upset the other day because